What's going on, my trainer club? Today we're going to check out best of the best Empoleon in Pokemon Go. Is it going to be worth your resources to power up? So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, how did you do on your shiny Piplup day? I can't wait to hear how everybody's wins are, because today we are going to check out best of the best. What is in our best interest to do with Empoleon in Pokemon Go? Is it going to be a good Pokemon? How does its stats with Hydro Cannon stack up? And then what is it going to do in PvP? Including what are going to be the best moveset to have on your Empoleon. So let's get into everything we possibly can. And I just want to do a big shout out. And if you guys don't use them, definitely do so. Game Press, their stat base is amazing. So it took a little bit of time for them to upload this stat. So I wanted to apologize about getting this video out a little bit late, but I think better late than never, because I want to make sure you guys know exactly what Empoleon does in Pokemon Go. So let's do it right now. Empoleon is going to max out at 2,900. It has an attack of 210 that is going to be ranked 149, a defense of 186 that's going to be ranked 123, and a stamina that is going to be 197 ranked 157. So just looking at right off the bat, there's no stat that is really excelling more than normal, right? So don't give up right now. Empoleon is a water and steel type Pokemon, which makes it have a bunch of resistances, because when we see those two types, it usually brings out a bunch of resistances. And since it's water and steel, it's only going to be weak to three things, which are going to be ground, fighting, and electric. And it's going to have a bunch of other resistances that are ice, poison, and steel as the double resistances, and also single resistance to bug, normal, flying, fairy, dragon, psychic, rock, and water. But now let's check out what the best movesets are to have on your Empoleon. Checking out the Empoleon's moveset, we have Empoleon, obviously all of them are going to be sitting at the #1 spot with actually Metal Claw and Hydro Cannon at a DPS times TDO at 1947. Then we have Empoleon with Waterfall Hydro Cannon at 1549, and then Metal Claw Hydro Pump 862. So the Hydro Cannon does a tremendous amount of boost, over double the amount of boost in its power as a Pokemon. That's how impactful this moveset is to this Pokemon. And then Waterfall Hydro Pump is going to be 764. Then we have Metal Claw Blizzard 625, then we have Metal Claw Flash Cannon 609, and then we have Waterfall Blizzard 596 and Waterfall Flash Cannon 584, with the reigning supreme overall best damaging moveset combination at Metal Claw Hydro Cannon 1947. So 1947, pretty good for us, right? Anything about the 2000 range and up really means that it can do some impactful gameplay switching upper, if you want to call it that, in Pokemon Go. So now we want to check out what the DPS is, what the TDO is, what the DPS times TDO is. So if you've been with me for a while, you want to skip the introduction and go straight to the stats, check the pinned comments below so you can skip over this intro and get right into it. But we're going to start out with DPS. DPS stands for damage per second, which means one attack move. How powerful is this Pokemon going to be? It takes into account the stab bonus, which is same type attack bonus. Meaning, since it is going to be a water and steel type Pokemon, if it uses a water or steel type move, it's going to get a bonus. Then we're going to go on to TDO, total damage output, which is going to be over the lifespan of the Pokemon, how much damage can it do? So it doesn't really weigh in as much as far as attacking goes. It really focuses heavily on the damage over the lifespan. So tankier Pokemon such as Lugia are going to hold higher weight in this category. But we want to take the DPS and the damage potential with the stab, and then we want to average it with the TDO to get the best overall stat, which is going to be DPS times TDO, which is going to be over the lifespan of the Pokemon, taking into account with the DPS, the stab bonuses, and everything you possibly can do from an attacker standpoint and a tanky standpoint, what's going to be the best Pokemon. And that's where we put a lot of weight from a stat standpoint. But then the next thing we have to do is analyze it from our trainer brains to see, is it a 1-bar move, 2-bar move, and what's going to be the best use for this Pokemon. So let's get into DPS right now. So before we get into the water analysis, I just wanted to pull it with every stat combined just to see where the Empoleon sits, because the best combination that we saw was going to be the Metal Claw and the Hydro Cannon combination. So this is just going to be water attackers with all their different movesets that they can get. If you want to check out the #1 spot, Dragon Tail, Draco Meteor on the Palkia 3350. Then we have Kyogre Waterfall Surf at 2714, and then we have a couple spots down the Empoleon with the Metal Claw Hydro Cannon, which is going to sit in the 7th spot, which is pretty powerful at 1947, right under Kyogre and Palkia. So it's going to be the first Pokemon underneath these two legendaries, which is pretty powerful and impressive. Checking out the overall DPS of only water type attackers with only water type moves, because I think that's going to be the most beneficial for us right here. We have Kingler with Bubble and Crab Hammer at 16.982. Then in the second spot, we have Kyogre, Waterfall, Surf, 16.447. I know everybody, as soon as that Crab Hammer came out, were like super amped, like gotta max out the Kinglers, but I want you guys to wait until DPS times TDO. I'm gonna point it out in this as well. Then we have the Crawdaunt at Waterfall, Crab Hammer, 15.736. Then we have Swampert, Water Gun, Hydro Cannon, 15.61. Then we have Feraligatr, Water Gun, Hydro Cannon at 15.255. And then we have Empoleon, Waterfall, Hydro Cannon, 15.13. And if you guys want to go onto the second page, you could definitely pause and check out other Pokemon if you want to see the Samurott, which will probably get Hydro Cannon at some point and get boosted, obviously. You can check out something like the Blastoise, Water Gun, Hydro Cannon at 12.903. And then if you want to go to the third page and go ahead and pause here, you can definitely check out any of the other double water type attackers. Sitting in the 8th spot overall is pretty effective, guys. That's pretty powerful for the DPS category, which brings some promise to this, because we always know that if TDO is up as well, we can definitely raise the bar as far as where in the top it's going to sit. So next we're going to check out total damage output for Empoleon. Where does it sit as a water attacker? So the TDO overall, we're looking at the tankiest Pokemon here. We're going to start off with Kyogre, Waterfall, Surf, 610. Then we have the other Kyogre with the Hydro Pump, 590. Then we have Swampert, Water Gun, Hydro Cannon, 494. Then we have Gyarados, Waterfall, Hydro Pump at 458. Then we have Feraligatr, Water Gun, Hydro Cannon at 457. Then we have a Melodic, Vaporeon, and then Empoleon comes in at the 8th spot. Waterfall, Hydro Cannon at 447, which is pretty powerful. Then we have Feraligatr with the Hydro Cannon at 443. And then if you want to go to the next page, you can definitely check out any of these Pokemon, such as the Lapras coming in here, which is new. Water Gun, Surf, 414. Blastoise, we have another Lapras. Then we have the Empoleon without it, right? With the Hydro Pump without Hydro Cannon at the 374. Then we have the Kingler, which sits in the 19th spot at Bubble Crab Hammer, 371. And then we have on the third page, if you want to pause and see any of the other water type TDO Pokemon, you can do so here. Empoleon is looking pretty consistent, but I did point out that the Kingler is going to drop in the TDO category. So now we're going to check out from a TDO times DPS category, overall with attack, stab, and tankiness, where does Empoleon sit? Sitting at the #1 spot, I don't think it's a big surprise here because Kyogre is an absolute monster. It's going to be Waterfall, Surf at the 2714. So that's going to be the top water. Then we have Kyogre, Waterfall, Hydro Pump at 2377. Then we have Swampert, Water Gun, Hydro Cannon at 1879. So Swampert is the first non-legendary all-water attacker. Then we actually have the Kingler coming in, Bubble Crab Hammer at 1821. So it is pretty effective. It is definitely not outweighing the Kyogre as some people may have projected. It's not nearly up there, right? Like, just Kyogre is #1, but Kingler sitting in the 4th spot. And then we have Feraligatr, Water Gun, Hydro Cannon. Notice that a lot of these Pokemon are actually going to be water Pokemon from the community today at the 1624. Then we have sitting in the 6th spot, we have the Empoleon with the Waterfall Hydro Cannon at 1549. So it is 1200 points below the Kyogre, but since we just had community today, we did have a much high increase in this Pokemon, so it's pretty viable to help us out. Then we have the Feraligatr, Waterfall Hydro Cannon, 1436. Then we have Gyarados, Waterfall Hydro Pump. I would love to see Gyarados get a little bit better of a moveset besides Hydro Pump, just to bump it up a little bit. It's such a cool looking Pokemon, 1321. Then we have the Crawdaunt, Waterfall Crab Hammer, 1169, then Swampert with the Surf. And if you want to go onto the second page and check out anything like the Blastoise with the Hydro Cannon at 867, which is quite low. We have the Melodic, the Samurott in there with the Hydro Pump, 770, which will definitely get a bump in the near future. And then if you want to go to the third page and check anything else out, you can definitely do so here. So that's where the Empoleon is sitting right there. And since it is a community day move, it's pretty prevalent, guys. If you've missed previous community days and you don't have any Kyogres, this would definitely be a pretty solid water type attacker, especially since it has a bunch of resistances, which is pretty powerful. So as far as attackers go, I wouldn't say to max out like a really low level one or anything like that, but if you did catch a couple level 30s, maybe you did some trades and got a lucky, like it would be an effective Pokemon to play with. I wouldn't say to max out. So as far as a meta attacker goes, I think it's effective in that regard. So let's just check out as far as PvP PvP goes, what would we do with the Empoleon in Pokemon Go? Because it actually does hold some weight, so let's check it out for the PvP. So for the Great League, it's in the top 10 of water type attackers, but there's a lot of water in the Great League. So it's gonna be rank 62 with the Waterfall, Hydro Cannon, and the Flash Cannon. So it's definitely a pretty viable option. And then if we move into the Ultra League, it's actually gonna be ranked 31 in the 5th water type spot with the exact same move set of Waterfall, Hydro Cannon, and Flash Cannon as well. However, we also want to check out the Master League, and it is going to be ranked 57 with the exact same moveset, definitely outdone by some other Pokemon such as Kyogre. So as far as PvP goes, it's definitely going to excel the most in the Ultra League, which is no surprise because it maxes out at 2900, so it's a pretty good Pokemon for that. And then as far as the Great League, it definitely holds some weight. It's in the top 75 Pokemon. Quick comparison of Empoleon to the Swampert and the Blastoise. So it is going to max out a little bit under the Swampert at the 2900. Its attack is going to be 210 compared to Swampert at 208 and Blastoise at 171. Its defense is going to be 186 above the Swampert at 175, and the Blastoise is going to be above at 207. And then we have stamina 197 below the Swampert quite significantly at 225. And it's going to be above the Blastoise at 188. So what do we do with Empoleon? It's going to be a pretty decent Great League attacker. It has a lot of resistances, something that like a Blastoise wouldn't necessarily have because it's all water type attacker. So it's definitely going to be a unique combination. It's going to have a good amount of resistances. And as far as a meta attackers, it's definitely not in the top 3. However, it is in the first top 10. So if you're a newer player and you need some water type attackers with a lot of resistances, it does hold some weight. I would highly suggest to trade them and try to get a lucky Pokemon. And hopefully you did that and followed my tips and then evolved it so it has the Hydro Cannon moveset, because without the Hydro Cannon moveset, you guys saw that it is just really not effective Pokemon. So that's where we're sitting at, guys. I would say probably not power it up. If you choose to power it up, hopefully it's going to be a lucky, but Kyogre is going to sit at the #1 meta attacker spots. And then as far as the Great League, Ultra League, and Master League, there are better Pokemon in there, but it does have that cool combination. So thank you guys for tuning in, all my likers, commenters, subscribers, and Patreon members. We have some awesome stuff coming this week, including some new merch drops. So I super appreciate all you guys. I'm gonna see you out on the next video. Peace. I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.